What's up, everybody? It's me, Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. This is our NFL Power Hour. I've got two NFL picks for you. They're going down this Sunday, and I've got one expert handicapper that's going to share them with you. And trust me, you want to know what this awesome handicapper is picking because he is hot right now. But before we get to Ross Benjamin, let me talk to you about nohouseadvantage.com. All right, now this is for all of you fantasy players, fantasy football, fantasy hockey, fantasy baseball, all that jazz. They have got a dynamic new platform. And when you guys use our promo code P and P, spell out that and, they're going to match your first deposit of up to $50. Get on board with No House Advantage. Tons of fun for you fantasy knuckleheads out there. Okay, so let's get this party started. I've got expert handicapper from Picks and Parlays. It's Ross Benjamin here on the show. What's up, Ross? Oh, volume. Give us 1 second. Hold on. You have to unmute yourself. That's what the thing is telling me right now. It said that I didn't do it, that you did. Sometimes I mute people on accident, people, all right? Sometimes it's part of it. We're having technical difficulties, but let me set this game up for you guys real quick while we figure it out. We've got the Jets at the Bills. Bills are a -9, and the total on this one is 44. Now, before we get going, we do have an awesome promo code over at the site, all right? It is playoff, and it's going to save you 25% when you use it over at picksandparlays.net. So here's what's going on at picksandparlays.net. Ross Benjamin was 3-1 yesterday. That means you guys are up $190 if you bought his premium plays yesterday. Over the last 7 days, he's 19-10, up $808, and that puts him at number 2 on our hottest cappers list on the site. That is what's going on with Ross Benjamin. All right. Now, we're going to take a small pause here, but while we do, wait, here he comes back again. We're going to try this.
Can you hear me now, Ellie?
Yes, baby. How you doing?
All right. Thank you. Sorry about that, folks.
Oh, it happens all the time. It's no big deal. So I set them all up. I told them about how you're doing on the site. Jets Bills is a -9. Lots of money on the Bills. I haven't seen that number move a whole lot. 89% on the Bills, still at the 9. The total's 44. What can you tell me about this one, Ross?
You know, I'm going to be accused of being a homer here, but I don't care. I hate, Ellie, you've worked with me for a couple of years now. You know, I hate betting public sides, but I just think this is the right spot for Buffalo here. I mean, they're playing with revenge. They're coming off a 20-17. I should say their revenge is from a 20-17 loss at the Jets earlier this season. You know, since 2020, the Bills are 16-2 straight up and 13-5 against the spread whenever playing with revenge. And that includes 8-0 straight up and 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 in that role. This will be the Bills' first home game in the last 4 weeks. They went 3-0 straight up and 2-1 against the spread in those 3 games on the road and at neutral sites, with their only ATS loss coming against the Detroit Lennies. Anyway, they enter this game with 9 days of rest, having played their last game on a Thursday evening against New England, winning that game 24-10 in Foxborough. The Bills are 3-0 straight up and just 3-0 straight up on Thursday evenings. And they followed up those Thursday games the previous 2 times by going 2-0 straight up and against the spread, winning 41-7 versus Tennessee and 24-10 versus New England. Since McDermott took over in 2017, Buffalo is 7-1 straight up when playing with 7 or more days of rest, and that includes 5-0 straight up when they're a favorite of 4 or greater when playing with 7 or more days rest. And all 5 of those wins came by 10 points or more. The Jets, I know they're enjoying a fine year. They're certainly an upstart team, and they've certainly been impressive with all things being considered. However, they still have the enigma of not being able to win on the road in division games. The Jets 0-7 straight up and 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 division away games. And that includes 0-5 straight up in ATS whenever they were an away underdog of 9.5 or less in division games. and they lost those 5 games, Ellie, by 19.2 points per game. I know Buffalo got a lot of hype early on, and I know they've been getting picked on a lot lately as being overhyped, but, keep this in mind. This is a team that's 9-3. All 3 of their losses came by a combined 8 points, and all 3 of their losses by 3 points or fewer. So this is a team that with a little bit of luck could be 11-1, 12-0 right now, but they're not. And I think they're going to come up with a huge performance at home. They haven't been there for a while with extra rest against a Jets team that's improving, but they've overachieved a bit. And I think reality sets in this spot.
I think it's too many points. Like, I agree that the Bills win in all your stats. It's hard to go against any of that, but just +9 with all the money on the Bills and they're not putting it at that key number of 10 or even 9.5. It just, maybe they're saving it for closer to game time, but for whatever reason, it's just not sitting right with me. And everything about the Jets, I mean, this year they are 4-2 on the road and 4-2 against the spread on the road. So for me, I would just have to take the points with the Jets, but maybe put them into a teaser. So I get 6 more points with the Jets. I think that's how I would play it. But also I could tease the Bills down 6 and just make them a -3. So this is a tricky game for me. Ross Benjamin is an expert, though, and he's number 2 on our hottest cappers list. So follow the money. Bills -9, says Ross Benjamin. That's how we're going to play this one. All right, we've got one more pick for you. But before we dish it out, you've got to like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. We've got a football power hour on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. You guys don't want to miss our free football picks, all right? So we're going to move into the Chiefs at the Broncos. This is another -9 here, but this one shifted, okay? This started at Chiefs -7.5. There's 95% of the money on the Chiefs, and it's moved to a -9. So that line at least is going in that direction. The total on it is a 43. Before we get to the pick, though, don't forget, we've got a killer promo. It's playoff over at picksandparlays.net. That's going to save you 25% off of our entire site. And if you missed me the first time around, Ross Benjamin was 3-1 on Monday. He's 19-10 over the last 7 days. $808 you have made betting with Ross Benjamin's premium plays over the last 7 days. Puts him at number 2 on our hottest cappers list. Ross, tell me what you're thinking about the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Yeah, before I get to that, just a friendly reminder, folks, I'm number 7 overall in the NFL. That's for the entire season. And I've been on the leaderboards across the internet in the top 10 all season long in the NFL. So coming down the stretch here, look to finish strong, enjoying a fine year.
Yes,
Kansas City at Denver. And Ellie mentioned that 9 number. In another uncomfortable spot for Ross Benjamin, Ellie, because this is another game I know the general public, not only are they on all over Kansas City right now, they're going to continue to be. But sometimes you have to throw all that stuff out the window, and the public does win sometime, and I probably feel stronger about this than the Bills pick. I mean, when you look at this matchup, Kansas City coming off a loss at Cincinnati. Let's start with that. How about since October 17th of 2019, this is a Chiefs team under Andy Reid that's gone 11-1 straight up and 8-4 against the spread following a loss. So over 3 years, they've only lost 2 in a row on one time, that is, and they're covering at a very good rate. As a matter of fact, they're 5-0 straight up in ATS as an away favorite of 10 or less when coming off a loss, and won those games by an average of 14.6 points per game. So my point being, this is a Kansas City team under Andy Reid. When they're coming off a loss, they're usually in a very ornery mood, and I would certainly think that they will be on Sunday in a divisional matchup at Denver as well. Kansas City, by the way, 13-0 straight up and 9-3-1 against the spread in their last 13 against Denver, outscoring the Broncos in those 13 games by an average of 12.3 points per game. And talk about a contrast. How about this? Kansas City, number 1 in total offense and number 1 in scoring offense. Denver, number 32 in total offense, number 32 in scoring offense. It's only averaging 13.8 points per game. Wow. Anyway, Denver's 0-4 the last 4 and 1-8 in the last 9. If you count the games played within the United States, they're 0-8 straight up in ATS in their last 8. And Denver has scored 16 or less in 10 of 12 games this year. Not a good sign when you're playing an explosive offense like the Chiefs. They did cover last week in a 10-9 loss at Baltimore. And since 2020, the Broncos 1-8 straight up in ATS at home following a straight up win. You guessed it, Ellie. Kansas City minus the 9. Painfully, I have to say that.
Painfully. This one I don't think is too many points. The Bills, that felt like more. I mean, there's always that chance that this is the Broncos week, right? But up until this point, the Broncos have like given me no reason to take them on the road, at home, away, any of these things. I just don't want to be involved in the Broncos. Yeah. What's not going on, period.
The defense is really good, Ellie, but you're facing a whole different animal in Kansas City here.
And that's what I was thinking, was because Broncos are so poor on offense and so good on defense that maybe look at this as an under. But as you alluded to, the Chiefs are number 1 on offense and scoring offense. I mean, they could put up.
And this is a really low total for a Kansas City game.
Yes, it really is. I was thinking under, but I think this is another one I just might lay off of. Chiefs would be my play on it if I had to, or maybe teasing the Chiefs and the under together. I could get jiggy with that as well. All right, people, that's Ross Benjamin's free picks for your power hour. We're going with the Kansas City Chiefs -9. That's how we're going to do it. Don't forget, everybody, like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications, because power hour's on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, Ross Benjamin. Good luck this week. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Ellie. Thank you for having me.